My wife looked at me and said, I'm leaving. Don't try to find me. I just nodded and said, I won't. My wife looked at me and said, I'm leaving. Don't try to find me. I just nodded and said, okay. What she didn't know was that our 4-year-old had started sleeping with her favorite doll hidden under the bed. Terrified, mommy would throw it during the next rage. I found the needle in Jessica's purse that morning while looking for lunch money. The burnt spoon behind paint cans in our garage. The texts from him lighting up her phone. Can't wait to taste you again. And we'll be free soon. Our daughter kept asking why mommy was always sleeping or screaming, and I had no answers left. I'd already called her parents, scheduled the intervention for next week, had 3 rehab centers on standby, even took time off work to drive her myself. But that Tuesday night when Jessica sat me down, eyes glazed and pupils pinned, rambling about finding herself in this suburban prison killing her soul, I just stayed quiet. The track marks on her arm looked like purple constellations mapping her descent. You won't fight for me? She asked, almost disappointed by my calm. What's the point? I watched her fidget with the bracelet I'd given her last Christmas, the one she'd pawned by Thursday. She looked confused, probably expected me to beg, cry, promise to fix whatever she thought was broken. Instead, I helped her pack one bag. She grabbed random clothes, leaving our daughter's drawing of mommy and me crumpled on her dresser like trash. The next morning hit like cold water. My daughter stood in the kitchen doorway, her voice breaking my heart. Where did mommy go? Did I do something bad? The words knocked the air from my lungs. I couldn't breathe. Didn't know how to braid her hair, which shoes she liked. Had a meeting at 9 I couldn't miss. So I swallowed my pride and called her parents with trembling hands. Jessica's gone. She's using. There's another man. I need help. I don't know how to do this alone. The admission burned my throat. Her mother gasped. Her father went silent. We'll make some calls. 3 hours later, a quiet knock changed everything. Sylvia stood there. Jessica's baby sister who worked downtown since finishing college, arms full of grocery bags, pink backpack, and a box of hair ties. She moved through my door with purpose, following the sound of my daughter's sniffling to the kitchen table where she sat coloring alone. Sylvia dropped to her knees beside the chair. Hey sweetie, want me to show you how to make princess braids? My daughter looked up, tears still wet on her cheeks, and smiled for the first time in weeks. A real smile. The kind I'd forgotten she could make. 2 weeks became 2 months. Sylvia learned our routine better than I ever had. School pickups when I worked late, her car becoming a sanctuary of juice boxes and goldfish crackers. She taught my daughter to tie shoes with bunny ears, write her name in purple glitter. Even stayed through the 2 a.m. nightmares when my daughter would scream, don't go, to empty doorways, her tiny body shaking with abandonment. 3 months in, she attended every dance recital, every conference where teachers asked, is mom doing better? And Sylvia would answer, we're managing. My daughter started calling her Aunt Silly, pressing her nose against the window at 5:30, waiting. Meanwhile, Jessica's parents got the call. She'd been spotted in Vegas, strung out in a motel parking lot with him, still using. They wept. Sylvia held them while I held our daughter. 6 months later, something shifted beneath us like tectonic plates realigning. Sylvia and I moved through bedtime like dancers finding their rhythm. She knew the exact order, Mr. A Bunny, Elsa, an unnamed bear. I knew she'd forget the closet monsters unless reminded. One night after my daughter slept, we were folding tiny princess dresses when our hands touched reaching for the same unicorn sock. Such a mundane moment, yet everything changed. She looked at me, really saw me, and whispered, I've been falling for you since the day you admitted you couldn't do it alone. That took real strength. We kissed in my laundry room, surrounded by glittery tutus and mismatched socks, the washer humming approval. Her lips tasted like hope I'd forgotten existed. 2 years later, we married in the backyard. My daughter threw petals like confetti, shouting, finally! And one random Saturday morning, Sylvia and I were sharing grocery store donuts, watching cartoons, when my phone exploded. I made the biggest mistake of my life. I'm clean now. 47 days. I need my family back. Then, mom told me you married my sister. Are you serious? Another. I'm getting my daughter back. Already talked to a lawyer. Mothers always win. Another. She's mine. I carried her. You can't keep her from me. Another. You turned my own sister against me. I showed Sylvia everything. She read carefully, then burst out laughing, nearly choking on her donut. Tell her good luck explaining track marks to a judge, she said, stealing my coffee. So I texted back, court date's already set. See you there. Jessica's response came in 90 seconds. You were always pathetic. She's getting my sloppy seconds. That kid will remember who her real mother is. Sylvia smiled sweetly, hand moving to her stomach where our baby grew. Should we tell her the custody hearing was last month, that you already won? Or that your daughter told the judge she doesn't know anyone named Jessica? We laughed until our daughter looked up. You guys are being weird again. 3 days after the denial letter was delivered, their parents called. She'd relapsed the night the denial letter arrived. Turns out leaving was the only good decision she ever made for our daughter.